Okay, take two. Three, two, one, action. Don't know why I clapped that in my own face. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another one of my lives. Welcome to today's Saturday live. So I was live here. I'm gonna be honest, I was live here like a few seconds ago, but then something had happened, and basically I had to turn off my live for a quick few seconds, few minutes. But yeah, now I'm back live again as per usual as I am on Saturdays. And yeah, I just wanna, you know, just chat with you guys to see how your week was. So I guess I should start off with like how my week was. So to those who don't know, when I went live on Tuesday, okay, I went live on Tuesday, and Tuesday was basically our days I also go live. But Tuesday, however, I had talked about how basically I had to get called into work for the next 2 days. 2 days, meaning I had to go. I had to go to work Wednesday and Thursday. And normally, for a lot of people, I know for a fact that doesn't seem like too much, or it seems ridiculous. But if you have the same job as I do, that involves waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, then you would understand. And originally, I know some people may be like, "Oh my god, you have to wake up at 4 AM?" And yeah, I'm just like, "Okay, hey, listen, okay? We all have different types of jobs that involves us waking up very early in the morning." However, though, this I knew for a fact was gonna be a little bit of challenge for me, not just, physically, but mentally, and the only thing I could actually think of was that, okay, let's see what I can do for both Wednesday and Thursday, because those were the days I was called into work. Friday, pretty much yesterday, was my only day off this week. Next week, I should be going back on like my regular work schedule, meaning I work Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays, and I have Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays off. Now, getting to the point, so here's what happened. So Wednesday, obviously, that was very different for me. I had to wake up again at 4 a.m. Once I woke up at 4 a.m. again for work, I was exhausted because I didn't know what exactly I was gonna plan out doing because I work as a chef. Specifically, I work as a breakfast chef. And since I work as a breakfast chef, I have to make sure I have everything planned out and just to see like what I need to plan out for the guests that are currently staying at the hotel because they are there for a good experience. Now, for me though, I didn't know what exactly I was going to be cooking, so I decided to get creative and just decided to do, you know what, I'm just going to do a whole tray full of scrambled eggs, a whole tray full of bacon, a whole tray doing whatever. And I did still kept the usual that we cook, which is biscuits and gravy. And yeah, that was all good. The only challenge I had to face was Wednesday evening. I had to make a list for the food delivery list because normally I would do the food delivery list with my coworker on Saturdays, but since he had ended up in the hospital uh, Tuesday morning and he was out for 3 days, I had to basically figure out it all by myself. Like, okay, so basically I had to go around and like really check. And I pretty much was just trying to make sure that everything was on the list. I was writing down every food item we needed on the list because we were running low on a lot of foods, and we specifically needed potatoes, because we were running very low on those, and we didn't get them from the last shipping. So yeah. Oh, and hi to everyone who's currently on the live, who's joining me on live. Hi. Bye, spring. You take good care now. But yeah, so Wednesday, basically, I had to make a list, and then, um, not only that, but I had to make sure I did prep work for the next morning, which was, uh Thursday morning, and when I did that, I was tired, like, my body felt like it was gonna give out, like, at any moment. So, Thursday morning, I pretty much was just lazy, and I just made, like, some omelets. I made some omelets, I made biscuits and gravy, I even made, I don't know what else I made. I do know I had to serve out a lot of muffins. I had to serve out a lot of muffins, that's all I know. But yeah. So anyways, continuing, um, so if you heard during earlier in this live, the only day I really had off this week from work was yesterday, Friday. So Friday was my only day off this week, and I kid you not, I decided to get really creative on Friday morning and sleep in. Like, fully sleep in, like, I did not get out of bed until, like, shoot, 8 or 9 8 or 9 AM, when usually, on work days, I'd get up at 4 AM, or on regular days where I don't work, like my days off, I get up, like, around 6 or 7. But, yeah, I decided to sleep in for an extra 2 hours on Friday because I needed that, because I was wiped out, basically. So, y and work can do that to you, especially if you have especially any type of job you have that not only takes a toll on you physically, but also takes a toll on you mentally, spiritually, basically everything in a job. Well, whatever job you have that, like, just takes too much out of you, it takes too much out of you. So, yeah. So, I decided to spend Friday the best way I can. So, as you can tell from yesterday, or if you can't tell from today's live, my hair is shorter from last lives because yesterday I went and got a haircut. And I figured, you know what, I might as well treat myself to a haircut because where I live at, the summers are starting really sooner than later. Still shocks me. I mean, I know for a fact this is the last day of May and tomorrow's gonna be June, which holy Grammy. Holy Grammy. Is that even a word? What does Grammy even mean? Someone please explain that to me. But yeah. So overall, yeah. With the overall, since the summer's coming up, I decided to get a haircut because my hair gets very thick and very heavy in pretty much the hottest of weather. Like if it was so hot, if there was any weather out there and it's like 80 plus degrees, I would pretty much be sweating. Well, the top of my head and my forehead. But when I cut my hair short, it's just, it's a little bit lighter. It makes me feel more lighter. Yeah. But yeah, so that's what I did Friday. I also treated myself literally, I had like chicken for both, right? Not breakfast. I had chicken for both lunch and dinner, which I did not think that through. And just today for lunch, I had chicken again. Uh, and then later, I'm supposed to be having more meat. Yeah. But yeah, if you can't tell by my eyes, or my eye bags, I am very tired. I am very exhausted. Work basically drained me out today. Um, Except the only difference is my coworker was back working, and it was actually really good that he was back. I kept on asking for updates about him, not because like I wanted him back so I could get a day off. No, 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 no. That would just basically make me look like I'm being a butt. Um, the real reason why I wanted I was asking on updates on my coworkers because I was very concerned about him, and I just hope that, he was recovering well from what he had went through. Obviously, I would not say what he went through here live because that's his personal business. It's none of my business to talk about unless he feels comfortable enough to talk about it on live, which I think pretty much like any type of medical situation, if anyone here had went through or gone under a serious medical situation, honestly, let the person who went under that procedure, tell you the story and tell you their experience. I know for a fact I can't say that, and I know for a fact you can't say that unless it's your own personal experience, okay? Because I feel like that's better. I feel like that's better, because I have seen on my stories where basically people had talked about, like, their friends or their loved ones' medical procedures or their coworkers' medical procedures without any, like, acknowledgement or, like, wondering if, you know how would the person actually feel if you're talking about them like this when it's their personal business? And truth be told, to people like that, I'm just like, what's wrong with you? Is medical stuff like not private? I mean, come on. I mean, come on now. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing on my live. I am just saying that, I'm just saying that my coworker ended up in the hospital and he needed time to recover from what he went through. And I'm not going to say what exactly he gone through here on live because that's not none of my business. The only thing I feel like, or at least I know I can say on here is that he ended up in the hospital and he needed time to recover. That's all I can say. I can't say anything else. So please do not ask for details because I either know for a fact I can't say it live, even if I wanted to, I won't, or I just don't have all 100% of the details because I'm not the person that experienced it. That just hit my face. This lovely strap just hit me in my face. Oh, great. So, yeah. So, not only that, but also this week pretty much took a toll on me physically because for me, though, I spend my mornings always going on runs and exercising because I mean, if you look at my body, it's basically like I mean, I know for a fact I cover up my body a lot, with, like, heavy clothes, but that's just because I feel very insecure about the way I look, about the way I see myself. Um, what happened before? You have to be very specific. You have to be very specific. I don't know what are you talking about, like, what I talked about in last live stream? But, yeah, so anyways, I normally try to work out, but obviously I had failed at that very miserably this week. The only time I ever got like any sort of exercise was yesterday, really. And the only exercise I did was running and I tried to work out with my chest. You using hoodies. Yeah. So I used to not care about what people thought about my body, and I rarely ever wore hoodies. But then when I entered my middle school years, like somewhere between sixth and seventh grade, I had gotten bullied. Um, For the way I looked, for the way my arms looked, I was called, like, stick figured, even though I was not, like, skinny, like, very skinny. Um, I was I don't know what exactly the words are to describe you know what I'm talking about, when, a person doesn't really look skinny, and they know for a fact they're not skinny, but they don't have enough muscle mass or fat on their bodies. But yeah. But yeah, I was one of those skinny kids who basically, people made fun of because everyone else around me was like developing muscles, they had abs. Like seriously, I was wondering how is that even possible? Are they taking, you know, substances for to like gain muscle mass or something? Or are they on a good exercise, like weight exercise? And truth be told, I felt very envious of them because, yeah. But anyways, so when I hit seventh grade, that's when I decided to start wearing hoodies. And then I don't know why, but I wore a hoodie throughout that entire seventh grade year. And when I did, wore that hoodie for a long year, everyone started kind of questioning me, asking me if I was like insane. Why am I covering up my body with all these clothes, all these hoodies? Why am I wearing such large, baggy clothes when, obviously, I mean, I don't know. They say that for some reason they only see like a little bit of like my skin, meaning like from the knees down and like mid like here sleeve here and the rest is bare during gym class, really, when we had to wear gym uniforms or gym clothes, I should say. And honestly though, it I don't know why. I feel bad though because I have issues with being tall and skinny. Yeah, that's the thing though. I was also the tall and skinny kid when I was in middle school and then later on in high school. And not a lot of people were happy with the way I looked. A lot of people bullied me for that. Like they called me giant stick, they called me giant twig. They thought I was a sophomore when really I was a freshman in high school, or when I was in eighth grade, they thought I was a freshman in high school that got held back. Or when I was in seventh grade, some people thought I was in eighth grade. Sorry, I just need to move my leg around. I'm 6'3" now, about to be a freshman. Oh, in high school or middle school? Because let me tell you something. So when I was in high school in my ninth grade year, there's this very tall dude. I remember there's this. We weren't friends, but we were classmates who were just, well, we didn't hate each other, but we didn't like each other. So what happened was basically this dude was like tall. He was taller than me. I'm 6 foot, so he was sitting well at like 6 foot 3 or 4. And he wasn't skinny, but he definitely was built to be a wrestler, if that made sense. Ugh, sorry. So when so when I first met him and saw him, I was just like, what is he doing? Is he a senior that got held back or something? And then later that evening, I realized I was a terrible person because what people were saying about me, I was saying about him because I mean, I don't get it. What's so bad about being over 6 foot? Okay, listen here. Okay, if you're over 6 feet tall, that is no issue and that is no problem because generally, I think that people who are either taller or wider or shorter or skinnier or anything like that, they they're just people like you or me. And it did help me play center in basketball and football also. See, that's the benefit of also being tall. People told me that when you're tall, when you're playing basketball, it actually helps because you are somewhat a little bit closer to the net. And playing football, yeah, when you're kicking the ball, you know, could be help a little more. But, yeah, honestly, that's not a problem. Plus, if you're tall, you're able to reach higher things. And yes, a lot of people will call you giant or stretch or tall or whatever for that. But truth be told, I think that if you were, like I said, if you were either tall, wide, short, skinny, whatever shape or form you are, remember that's just you. Okay? That's you. And you can't you can't just let people, try and bring you down about it. You know, you because if you're confident, and this is something I had learned, as long as you're confident in yourself and you're not afraid of being tall, short, skinny, wide, I don't know, whatever shape your body is, then I'd say go for it and just be happy. Because at the end of the day, all that really matters is that you are happy just being yourself. Well, hey, guess what? A lot of people bully each other even when you do sports. Cause I mean, what's the problem with wanting to, represent your county, your country, your school in whatever sport you're in? Doesn't matter if you're tall or short. There are plenty of tall people, short people, average height people. I don't really know what exactly counts as height. Like, I don't really know the definition of what an average height person is. But yeah, tall people, short people, that doesn't matter. They do sports. They do sports out there and represent either their school, their county, their community, or their country, really. And they do it, and a lot of people are very happy about that because I think it's just like setting a good example to the younger generation out there who just want to, you know, who want to dream big, but apparently if they have like a flaw about them, then they can't do that, which to me is ridiculous because why would you let someone say you have a flaw, meaning a feature about yourself that wouldn't exactly make you amount to anything? It's funny how people call you. Well, okay, first off, that joke's just horrible. That's just a really ridiculous joke. But if you think it's funny, then that's okay. Which quite frankly, I mean, I have been the target of a lot of tall jokes, not gonna lie. I have been the target of a lot of tall jokes, but yeah, and they did get me upset, but then over time, soon enough, I kind of like just like laugh at it. Like, really? There are a lot of advantages to being tall, you know that, right? Like, we can reach the top shelves, we can, maybe climb a tree, we can do anything really as long as, we don't let the whole we don't let it, like, get on our backs or get on our shoulders, because it's important to love yourself for who you are. Whether you're tall, short, skinny, wide, average height, which again, I don't really know what average height is for a person. I don't know if there's a difference, but yeah, who cares about who cares about that? Tall people, short people. I mean, have you never seen tall people play sports all over the world or short people play sports all over the world? I mean, come on now. Yeah, when you're tall, basically, you have, like, a lot of advantages, I guess, in soccer or any sport, really. Yeah. So, anyways. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna be live here for just a few more minutes because also I gotta get off soon, because I got other things I gotta do for today. But, yeah, so I just wanna give you guys an update of what's gonna be going on. So, next week, I am gonna be live on Tuesday, and hopefully yeah, I could chat with you guys on Tuesday to discuss with you guys how what's going to be going on and what are my plans. I'm also going to be posting my regular content. I'm going to be posting my regular short videos. So to those here on here who follow me, please go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel because I post short videos every um Monday and Wednesday. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, I also post other content on here. I am hoping one day I could post maybe a vlog or a Q&A. I don't know for sure. However, though, I do know that I do want to make a video. I do want to make a Q&A video one day for you guys to just, you know, see and, we can chat about it and I will hopefully do like a little poll here soon. So that way you all can, well, say yes or no to me making a Q&A video. And if I do, then I would love you guys to ask me questions as long as they're appropriate, okay? Appropriate questions only. Because well, for one thing, this is supposed to be this is it's not me, it's just YouTube guidelines, okay? That's it's YouTube guidelines. That's all I could say. But yeah, so I'm planning on making a Q&A video. I just don't know when exactly I'm gonna start making that because they always say that when you make a Q&A video, it takes a while because you gotta do some editing, which quite frankly, I don't know. I don't know if I'm good at or maybe I should pay for someone. Well, either way, yeah, so that's what's gonna be going on. So yeah, so I'm gonna be posting my short videos as normal every Monday and Wednesday. And I am also gonna be going live on Tuesday, so, we can chat again. And then hopefully someday I will make a little poll, so, to ask if you guys want a Q&A video or maybe you want a vlog video, just to like see what you guys may want. Something new and fresh for my channel, if that makes sense. Something new and fresh that you all can enjoy. Yeah. So, yeah, so that's about it for today. Thank you all so much for joining my live stream today. Thank you all so much for letting me chat with you guys, for letting me talk. I do hope you are all having a wonderful day and or night. I do hope you are all staying safe. I hope you are all doing well. And yeah, that's about it for today's live stream. Again, thank you so much for joining my live. I will be live again on Tuesday next week so I can chat with you all again. And as always, have a good day and or night and stay safe and I love each and every one of you. Bye.